Howdy, howdy. Welcome to the Humans Aren't Real podcast. I'm Wolf Vision, and with me is Frylock. Today's episode is a fun one. The topic is a video game, Marvel Snap. If those of you that aren't aware, it's a mobile game and a PC game. So let's get into it. Fry,
Yes, sir. Hello. Sorry.
let's start with some gameplay.
Okay. So
What
I will.
is great playing Marvel Snap?
Well, the main thing for me is that I've tried a lot of different card games, like battle card games, I guess you call them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of them are overcomplicated. And it's kind of like, it's not really fun to figure out how it works.
Okay.
But this one was kind of the total opposite. Like it was really simple how it worked, and it was really easy to catch on and actually be able to figure things out, and actually felt like I knew what I was doing. I played all these other ones and I just never felt like I knew what I was doing. That's the
Okay.
one thing that I like the most about this, was that it was easy enough for me to catch on to, but intricate enough that once you kind of catch on to certain things, you could kind of start doing little twists here and there that makes what you're doing even better. And it's pretty easy to figure that out if you just play a little bit.
So I played a lot of card games um, as well. I actually played like with physical cards as well, where I
Man.
played uh, Magic the Gathering.
Yeah, I tried
Uh,
that one too.
I
Couldn't.
I tried it online, and it wasn't nearly as fun. I think having the physical in that game makes it more enjoyable versus the online, at least for me. And then I played Hearthstone for a while. That was a lot of fun. I played Yu-Gi-Oh! Online. That was a lot of fun. There's other card games as well that are like more kind of adventure board game kind of game. I think the game was called Card City or something like that. But anyways,
Okay. I've played the Hearthstone. I know that
Hearthstone.
one. Yeah,
Yeah,
Heart, right? Heart, Hearthstone.
no, Hearth, like fireplace type of hearth.
Hearth. Hearth.
Yeah, Hearthstone.
Okay. Okay. So that one, that's the other one that I enjoyed it while I played it, but
Hmm.
there wasn't enough to keep me playing it. Like I'd play a little bit and I'm like, all right, that was cool. And then I'd come back to it later and it was nothing really new. It was kind of just felt like doing the same thing over again. But
Yeah.
I did enjoy playing it. Like while I played it, it just didn't have anything extra that made me stick to it. But even I tried the Magic and even the Witcher one. The Witcher, it's like Gwei or something, Gwen
Uh-huh.
something. They had like a little card game. I tried that out, and the battles stuff just didn't make a lot of sense until this one.
Yeah. I would say with this one, what was great is the type of kind of like style you could play. So if you are playing this game, you could pick a style of gear your deck towards like death or discard or summon or power up when you move. So there's different styles you can style your deck in with different characters. And I kind of enjoy having that aspect of it. and then they release new characters, and it's like, oh, okay, what can I introduce into my deck to make it better?
So I do want to say that I've learned a lot more with what you're talking about now. Like if we would have done this 2 weeks ago, I'd still be a little confused. But
Yeah,
like I understand like a death deck, a discard deck, you know, like destroy decks and like other decks where you can multiply specific characters. Like I get that now.
yeah.
But a couple weeks ago, it was still like I just played. Like I
Uh-huh.
just put whatever cards together and I didn't really think much about it. I just played and I never really did horrible.
Right.
But once you kind of get that extra layer, like that's when, let's just say, for example, 99% of the time we play,
Oh, yeah.
you just wipe the floor with me.
Yep.
And eventually, at the end of a certain amount of time, I'm just like, I don't want to play this game for like the next day or two.
Yeah. Yep.
But funny story, the other day when we were playing, and I actually said, hey, let's do something different with this episode and let's put some videos in trying
Uh-huh.
to capture some gameplay.
Yeah, you got motivated.
I was like, I was just trying any and everything. And I was just like, what are these cards? What do they do? All right, I'm going to go with this and trying to think every little thing you would do. And I was just nailing it, nailing it, nailing it. And I
Okay.
couldn't
Be
believe it.
be honest. Be honest. Did you watch a YouTube video?
I didn't, dude. Like,
Okay. Okay.
I've been learning my decks from the bounties we've been doing for like the alliances.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Then
so through doing that, I've understood how like kind of destroying certain cards and like adding different multipliers and stuff like that. I've kind of understood how it works from trying to get those bounties. And
yeah.
I was just like, I'm going to do a different deck every time. It's like I know how this deck operates. I'm just going to ignore the fact that it's Wolf, and I am going to just play this deck like I would if I was trying to get a bounty.
Yeah.
And dude, every location was working for me.
Oh, I know it. Oh,
Every location. I'd never been in such a sweet spot with the locations. Like
I
every,
was grinding my teeth of how annoying
oh,
things were falling into place for you.
yeah, and that's what I was saying. Like we played for like at least an hour, and 90% of that hour was just me. And then guess what happens when I go back to look at it?
um, I hacked your computer and crashed your system.
That must be what it was because OBS just stopped working within like 15 seconds of me starting the video.
So your
It's got,
video recorder just died, huh?
oh yeah, but it's got
Uh,
all the audio.
oh, we don't need any of that.
It's got all the
Yeah,
it's got all the music and the sound
yeah,
effects,
yeah,
but you can't
just
see crap.
yeah, just scrap it all. It's all right. I
And
have this new
unfortunately, we weren't
footage.
talking to each other through that, so none of that's on there. So I can't even like prove
Yeah.
the agitation I caused. Finally, you felt the way I normally feel for a day.
So I have footage of when I was beating you the next time we were playing later that day.
Yeah,
So that
I
should
think
be
I do
playing
too.
right about now, right?
It probably already was. It probably would have
Okay.
already started by now.
Okay. Excellent. Excellent. So
It's
what would
probably the
you?
same stuff I've got because I was watching a little bit of it and I'm like, man, this is bad again.
I actually had to change my deck to match your death deck instead of the one I normally play.
So, yeah, what I think I beat you one game and then it was like, nope.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
fun.
yeah. Yeah.
Okay. What did you find interesting about the gameplay?
Honestly, like it had a lot to do with like the soundtrack for me. Like the songs in the background, they always kind of get you amped up to play it. Like the effects and the sounds and stuff like that. Like
Hmm.
that was like one of the things that really kind of pulled me in, like during the game. Like I would consider it part of the gameplay because it's just kind of a point and click type of game. Like
Okay.
I'm not using my keyboard, so like a big part of that gameplay is just the visuals and the audio. Like it definitely gets me
Which
excited to play.
we'll cover a little bit more later.
All right.
But okay. What I found interesting is the different game modes that they have, where they have the normal one, then they have the conquest, where you can go through like
Um,
the ranks of trying to unlock a better like
yeah.
avatar that you have. And then they have different kind of quests. So the quests are kind of interesting where you have the guild quests, you have your daily quests, you have your past quests. So all that is adding to things to do, which makes it kind of interesting to get like further along in those lines of quests or challenges. And then they came out with the rank mission just recently.
And the alliances.
Yeah.
See,
And
the conquest that you're talking about, like I used to play those a lot, like a lot.
okay.
But I would always get like mid tier
Uh-huh.
before I would kind of lose. But I did decent sometimes. But it got to a point to where like when the alliances kind of started, I haven't
Hmm.
played a single conquest since. Like I'm just straight focused on those bounties and like trying to
Yeah.
get
I
as
can't keep up with you on those bounties. You just decimate. You're like doing
do,
3 to my 1.
I play I play at break time every day. So
Yeah.
it's guaranteed that I'm gonna play once a day, 5 days a week.
Yeah.
Whether it's one game or for a half hour, I'll sit in the car, relax, play a few rounds, talk to my wife a little bit, then I go
Yeah.
back to work. So I'm gonna play it 5 times a week. And now sometimes in the morning, if I get up
Hmm.
early enough, I might play a few rounds. And
Right.
if I'm
Right.
playing a few rounds, I'm focusing on getting bounties. I'm looking and saying, which one of these things can I just knock out in 5, 10 minutes?
So it's safe to say you like the alliance aspect of it right now.
It, it's a lot of fun. Like it gives you a really good goal to aim for.
Hmm.
And it
It
kind of
is
like
a
the
newer aspect to the game too. It's only like
yeah.
3, 4 weeks old.
It felt like it's been a little bit longer than that.
It hasn't
Well,
been that long.
even before that, they did have like the like little tree that you're basically going up to get all the different I could pull it up. I don't know why I'm sitting here. What screen is it?
Oh, the
It's
power level tree.
yeah. It's like every 5 points or whatever you get there, you get like a
Yeah.
little unlock or something. Like
Yeah,
before that,
that's
that's
another
basically
one.
what I would play for. I would
Yeah,
play to
the
unlock
power
all that.
level.
Yeah. But now the alliances is like you're doing that on top of having these bounties and these extra rewards for having like an alliance.
Yeah.
So what is it called? The collection level. That's what it is. Collection level.
Okay. Okay, so what do you think the game needs some fixing in the gameplay department? When you play it, you're just, oh, this is a chore, or this is a hassle, or this needs some rework.
To be honest, it's more so the glitchiness. Like
Okay.
I thought maybe it was just like on my phone it would be glitchy here and there, so I didn't really think about it, but I noticed it on my computer a lot too, where it's like when I'm destroying a
Glitchy how?
large like when I'm destroying a large amount of cards, like if I'm
Uh-huh.
using what is his name? He's a 5 card, 8 points, and he destroys the whole deck.
Destroyer?
No, Modoc, Murdoch,
Oh,
what's his name?
Modoc.
He's he's that weird character that they tried to do in a Marvel movie recently that just looked really bad. What was that?
Yeah.
Venom?
No, that was
What's
the
that?
multiverse. No, not
Oh, was it
multiverse.
really?
Quantum Mania.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
They had
Okay,
Modoc.
yeah. Now I remember why that one was so bad. Um, but yeah, it was like I've noticed when I use him sometimes, even on my PC, it's
Yeah,
like the cards won't be destroyed. And it's like slowly it'll sit there for a little bit, and then all of a sudden, like one card will disappear, and it's like the animation is behind or it's like lagging.
yeah.
It's just like it's glitchy through that. But then once it kind of kicks in and goes, then it finally like goes all the way through. But it's
Okay.
like that's really the only complaint I have because again, I don't play a lot of like battle card type games, so I don't really have
Yeah.
a lot to compare it to. But
Okay.
it just seems glitchy sometimes on my end.
Okay. Well, something that I see that I want them to work on is the quest itself. So, for example, the Alliance, they have these quests that you could pick from, which is awesome that you can pick what quests you want to work on.
Oh,
But they
it's great.
are, yeah, the bounties. But they're just so generic. It's like fill up all 4 slots on all 3 places. But it's like you just use a summon deck. You could just summon a bunch of squirrels and level ones and fill up everything and
Yeah,
lose.
yeah.
So it's not a quest. So I wish they would give it more thought. Like use somebody that is level 10 and have them destroy 2 people or something like that.
Do
Or have a
get
card
what you're
with no
saying.
ability fighting in win lane.
Get what you're saying when it can be super simple to just be like, oh, fill up all three locations with 4 cards. Like, yeah, that can be super simple if you don't want to win. But I kind of do the same thing, but I do it in an approach of like, how do I do that and have a higher percent chance of winning?
Uh-huh.
So I'll kind of base my deck from the top down saying, well, I need these cards so I can fill up all the locations and I have to play them this way. But I try to do it with the cards that I think will actually win me games. I
Right.
mean, very seldomly am I intentionally losing games just to get a bounty. Like I don't know if enough people are there people that really would do that? Like I
Well, that's
wouldn't do that.
the thing is that it's for me not fun when it's just that simplistic. Or it's win with an 8 uh point snap. You play the game, you get an 8 point snap. So that's not really a quest, right? That's
They
just
have
you
different
doing
layers,
something.
though. They have layers like win one game with 8 snaps and you get like 10 points, or you can win like 9 games and get like 200 points.
Right. But you're still
So,
doing just get snaps. It's not
yeah, but I'd
try
like to think you're
to
still trying to
make
win.
it's not the winning aspect of it. It's to do something that's challenging. Like they have it with their uh the pass. They have some in there that are kind of interesting to do, where it's like,
I have a gripe with their past, to be honest with you, when we get there.
okay, um, I can't think anything off the top of my head, but they would have something interesting in the past that you would be able to do that challenge in the match and complete it. And it would be, for example, like use a character to defeat the character with over 20 power at one spot. So that kind of thing is actually more interesting to me to do versus the bounties.
See, I don't think that's something I really noticed because, like I said before, I've learned a lot more about this game the more I play it. So I'm sure that might have been something that I kind of overlooked. Maybe I didn't quite notice.
Okay.
Like I
Well,
don't know.
that's something we could definitely talk about more later then.
I feel like the pass was kind of like almost a way to help you get through that like little gift tree faster. I almost felt like, it helped me skip a couple levels
It
here
does.
and there,
Yeah,
but
it
didn't really
does.
give me anything out of the ordinary.
Well, if it's the pass, then it gives you kind of some cards related to the pass.
Yeah, but I feel like sometimes I've gotten those through playing.
Well, those are variants that you don't get through playing, though.
Say, I feel like there are some cards that I'm like, I don't think I bought that pass, but I don't know how I have that card.
You probably bought that
I mean,
pass.
there was one specifically I remember not buying,
Uh-huh.
and I was just like, I just don't want to spend the money on it this week, like this month or whatever, this season, whatever it
Yeah.
is, they do it every season. I was just like, the last one just kind of felt like a pay to win type of thing. Like I was just dominating every round I played, and I'm just like, hmm, that's pretty funny that I just bought this season pass after I was getting just killed for weeks. And then I buy this season pass, and all of a sudden I was like unstoppable, just like ranking, and I'm like,
That's not a
no, no,
terrible thing.
no. But then I didn't buy it again, and
Then you got whooped.
I didn't get as high as fast as I thought I was before. I'm not
Yeah.
saying it's pay to win necessarily, but I definitely felt like the times I bought
Well,
the pass, I did better.
you definitely could buy specific cards in the shop at certain times.
Yeah, but I've looked at some of the prices on some of those things. They're so outrageous. I've never
Yeah,
really
they
like
are.
seriously looked into it, so I'd hate to think what some of that stuff costs.
Yeah. I'm sure people could well into it and just
Oh,
make a
dude.
deck of whatever they want.
Yeah. And you got like one of the first like little advertised bundles they're selling. It's like $100. And I'm like,
I
yeah,
don't like the game that much.
it's like, yeah, that gives you a lot of crap. But do I want to spend $100 in this game? Like, no. Like, not for that stuff. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
it's just if I'm gonna spend that kind of money, you got to give me more. Like, give me new backgrounds. Don't have every level on a meteor. You know, I mean, at least something like that. I mean, that's something
Yeah.
small. I mean, I don't want to spend that
Well,
kind of money, but man, it's crazy prices on there.
well, speaking about some background, we're going to get into the art and sound now of the game. So, let's start off with the worst part of it. What do you think needs improvement of art and sound of the game?
My main thing, it is kind of like every single match you have, it's the same screen. You're on a meteor. There's these three locations. They all look the same. They transition different ways, but change that up a little bit, here and there.
Uh-huh.
Make it like a meteor crashing to Earth or something. It's on fire or something. Like make it on another planet kind of in the background. Like that gets a little stale for me. And honestly, I have a lot of really good things to say about like the music and the soundtrack and the way all that works. I can't really think of much negative about that. I just wish they would add a little bit more environments and maybe a specific location when it shows that it's this location, it has a specific design that makes it a little different so they all don't just look the same.
No, that's a
Sometimes
good critique.
sometimes I lose a game because I misread the location because I just thought I knew what it said because
Yeah,
it looks the same when it says certain things and I just wasn't paying attention. So
right.
it's like differentiate that stuff. Like that's needs to be a little bit more to that.
Yeah. Um, what I think they could improve upon a bit is the like card animation, and what I mean by that is they have animated cards or the 3D card when you
Yeah.
like upgrade them,
Oh yeah.
but like have them actually animated, like have something in the background moving or
Well,
them interacting with like them breathing or moving their arm.
like if you
Something
they look almost
animated.
they look almost holographic a little bit if you move them around.
Yeah.
But I mean, I kind of like that the fact that it's kind of like that, but you have to interact with it.
I want them to be able to move without having to interact with it. Like if I have them in my deck, I want to have them slightly moving. Like if I'm having them like looking at them, I want them to feel more alive.
I'm the kind of person that would get distracted by that, so I don't mind that they don't do that.
Well, you could always have that option to disable it.
Oh
I
yeah,
like
that wouldn't be a
visual
bad
stuff,
idea.
so I would like to see them interact more.
If you get too visual for a game like that, I'll get sidetracked and then I won't pay attention to what the locations say and I'll start losing. And then I'll get very angry.
Perfect.
Let's play right
Oh,
now.
okay, let's do it.
We'll just pause this for like 15 minutes. We'll come back to it.
We don't need that long. All
Oh,
right.
you're okay. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I feel like it was
Huh?
a dig.
No, nope, nope, nope. Not with my new deck I got.
All right, we might have to wrap this up soon.
I made a new summon deck, or I guess it's not a summon deck; it's a move deck. You know how you were talking about that one move deck you ran into? I made a
Yeah.
new one. I think I
Hmm.
revised it well enough to be able to work.
Well,
Anyways,
I don't
let's
want to
get
play. I don't want
into.
to play you if that's the deck you're going to use.
I am
That
gonna
guy
use that one.
annihilated me.
I am gonna use that one.
I've never been beat worse than that one time. And if you're using the same handful of cards he was using, I don't want to play.
I don't even know what he used. I just have two of those cards.
I know it was Black Panther and Wong.
Yep. I
I,
don't have Wong, so I can't do that deck. It's
oh,
okay. It's okay. Try. It'll be all right.
well, now that I know you don't have Wong, I got a little bit more confidence.
Yes, you have Wong in your deck, so you could use him.
No, my Wong deck ain't really cutting the mustard that much anymore.
Yeah.
It was
Well,
a Wong Namora deck, and she's not doing it anymore. She's losing most matches, so I kind of avoided that deck recently.
yeah. Well, there's always room for improvement.
Say I haven't the last couple times we've played. I don't think I've used that deck at all. I was like, I'm not even trying this deck anymore.
Well, we'll see after we finish up this podcast.
I'm
Okay,
already
so interesting part of the art and sound. What do you got?
like the art itself, all the variants and stuff that they're doing,
Mm-hmm.
and like the customization of the cards.
Yeah,
Like
that's what
I
I like.
just I've just recently started kind of messing with it because I knew they could do it. And like I said, I play mostly on my phone and I don't really mess around with the phone stuff. I just play. But like kind of looking on the computer and kind of navigating stuff a little bit, I was like, oh, this is how you do this and that's how you do this. And I'm looking at all these different customizations and I'm like, all right, like little glimmer effects and like dust and it it's really cool to be able to like especially specific cards that you kind of are like your strong point of that deck, you can make it look all fancy. So when you kind of throw it out there, people are kind of like, oh no, like what's going to happen? I've had cards like that.
Right.
They
Right.
throw it out there. I'm like, man, that thing's awfully sparkly. Like, what's going on here? Like, the, what is this guy doing? What happened here? How did he get that? I don't have that.
Oh no, this card is sparkling too much.
Hey, it's like that for a reason, okay? It's got to be some sort of magic.
Yeah, I got 3 matted red styles for winning that ranked battle,
Oh, nice.
and I put it on my Null and Carnage. So their borders are just like this really vibrant red. It's really nice.
Why you
So
going
that's
Carnage and not Venom?
I have Venom as well. I have both.
Oh, I feel like if you have Venom, there's no need for Carnage.
Oh no, there's definitely a need for Carnage. So if there's like a bunch of negatives that somebody throws on you, you use Carnage, destroys it, still goes up because he's destroying the card. So you can get him up to 6 or 8, and then you use Venom after like adding other cards to that location, and then you eat them all.
I say like I can't remember the last time somebody. I don't really get a lot of people like doing negative damage to me. It's usually just like completely blowing the card away, like destroying it, or like they move it. Like I don't
Hmm.
really ever have like a lot of negative moves. What was it? Hazmat? Is that what it is? Does the negative points one of them?
Yeah, Hazmat, Scorpion,
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right. I get
the
that occasionally.
Goblin.
Oh, the yeah. I mean, I'm usually. I feel like whenever those cards get played, I'm usually able to save the other two locations.
Ah, okay.
I don't know. Like
Well,
sometimes I get pretty lucky.
with Carnage, you can just destroy him, so it's pretty good.
Yeah, I've been
Okay.
using my Venom to try to get as many high points as I can, and then using what the one guy that like sends him to the other two locations.
Yeah,
I've
what's
been
his name?
I can't remember.
Zemo.
Yeah,
Uh,
start. Yeah, there's a Z in there somewhere.
yeah.
ARZI. I can't remember. I'm getting a couple of them confused.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what is so great about the art and sound? What would be something that you praise about it?
I think just like the soundtrack in general, like like the sound effects kind of playing with the music and like each season they kind of change the introduction music, like the theme music. And I think just them doing that, it's always good. Like I've actually had friends that have played the game
Mhm.
and they're like that's the first thing they notice. They're like, "Oh man, I really like the song that's playing and like the theme music and all that different kind of stuff that's playing during the match." Like I think it sounds phenomenal. It all works really really well. And like the
Hmm.
sound effects, if you can't retreat this round and the little asteroid comes down and it like blows up the retreat button, covers it up so you can't use it, like all that stuff just kind of really works well together to keep you like kind of really engaged with it.
Yeah. So I enjoy definitely the sound effects. I kind of like the quips that they make when you're like, for example, I have
Huh.
Death, and she just like starts going, ah, yes, more, give me more, whenever you're just like killing people on your team off,
Yeah.
and then she becomes more and more cost effective. Her price goes down and down.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the special effects when you're moving him from your deck to the table is really well done. Like if I grabbing Cyclops, he'll just like optic beam the other side, and it's just like moving him back and forth, blasting everything. That is just so cool. It makes me smile when he does that.
The
Or
funny
I play
thing,
a Venom, and he'll just like goober everything, and then just
yeah.
huge Venom face eats everything.
Funny thing about like the little one-liners that you're talking about, that
Yeah.
is one of the few settings that I actually have turned down quite a
Hmm.
bit. Like, I think I accidentally turned it down at one point and I just don't remember how to turn it back up, but I've left that the way it is. So that one I don't really hear a lot of those things. I know it's going
You
on,
should turn it back
but
up.
I,
It's
I'll
hilarious.
I'll maybe have to, because I do know I've heard
I I
The
turned
Rock.
my music all the way down, but the sound
Who's
effects and the voice, it's just
who's the
so
Rock
good.
guy? The guy Krug.
Yeah,
You play him and
Krug.
he throws a rock in your hand and he's like, oh, a
Yeah,
rock.
yeah,
Like I hear that all the time, but the rest of them I rarely hear what they're saying.
yeah. Definitely need to turn it up. They're pretty funny, and then the effects when they like when you drop the uh what's that astronaut one? Yeah, he's like 620. You can't play a
Oh,
card on the fifth round.
Infinite,
Infinite Knot? Something like that, yeah.
Infinite, yeah. You can't play
So
it, yeah.
when you grab his card and then place it down, it's like he's like the heaviest thing in the world and just goes boom, just
Oh,
like crushes the area when he comes down. It's
yeah.
just so good. Or the
It was,
Hulk.
yeah,
Hulk
he does that too.
smash, and
Yeah.
then he does just destroys the area when your card lays down.
With the Infinite, like every time like I end up having him in my hand, I keep forgetting like it's like you can't play him if you played a card last turn.
Yeah,
So like if you play a card on turn 5, you can't play him on turn 6. And I'll have all my moves set up and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to play him in the last one. I'll win all 3 locations, but I always forget I can't play 5, but I always play 5 and then I can't play 6 and then I end up losing because I forget every single time. So like he got on my nerves for a long time.
yeah. On my summon deck, I have him, so I could discard him and then resummon him with Ghost Rider.
Yeah, I haven't really messed with any decks like that yet. I've seen some,
Oh, I'll play you tonight with that one.
but I don't know what deck I would bring up against it.
That's all right. You'll just experience it.
We don't have that kind of time, Wolf.
Namaste.
We're just sitting here all night like I gotta win. I gotta win one round. I just gotta win
Yeah,
one.
yeah. Okay. Now we're on to decks. Let's talk about decks. We have
Sounds inappropriate.
what would be a good deck? What's great about the deck that you have?
So the one that I really love that I like completely just dominated with while it worked. It doesn't work anymore. Is
Yeah.
my Wong and Namora deck.
Okay. Yep.
Like if I end up getting a on reveal happens twice and I throw down Wong and I get one card in the other locations and then
Hmm.
throw down the Namora and if I'm lucky to get the reveal happens twice on top of Wong, that's 4 different times. That's 5 times 4. And then if I can throw other cards to make that happen even more, like I was getting 80, 90, 100 plus points in both of the other locations and just dominating. But
Yeah, like throwing an Odin on top of that.
yeah, yeah. And I even had Mystique in there at one point. And if I
Right.
was lucky enough to get turn number 7, somebody threw whatever that card was, I can't remember. If somebody threw that out, I had plenty of moves, and I mean, like, it would go insane. But now I get no locations. I get like the worst cards. Like, it gives me all my high cards, so I can't throw any low cards out just to double them later. So it's like, it's trash now, but I loved it. I loved it when it
Yeah,
worked. It dominated.
yeah. Nice. So I enjoy my death deck. I like being able to summon a bunch of like bunch of characters out and then just killing them all off.
Yeah.
And then then I have this like 15 Venom. I have the 12 Death, and then I have like Null that's like 34 or something like that.
Yeah.
So all of them are just like powerhouses over everybody else. It's just it's such a good feeling.
I've gotten pretty good with a Venom deck. I've kind of figured it out to where I can kind of really get some points on Venom and then separate them to different locations and re-destroy everybody all over again.
Yeah.
But
Yep, that's a pretty good technique.
your Null was destroying me the other day.
Yeah.
It was killing me. It was killing me. If I could have got him out of there, I would have done it in a heartbeat. Not fair.
Yeah.
Get rid of it. Replace it with a 1.
I kind of realized you had a Shang-Chi, so I would have to wait till the last second to play Null.
No.
So you would have already used them, and then I play Null in the same location.
I think there was a couple times I was even like waiting, and like I think it forced me to use the card.
Ah, yes, that's awesome.
I think there was definitely one where I was like, man, I know he's going to do that. I'm going to play it last,
Yeah.
and like he's going to throw it up there, so I'm going to save this just in case. But then it was like, must play card here, like plays random card here, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
any card but that, and it did it, and I was like, you got to be kidding me. That was literally my only hope was that card, and it was like turn 3. I'm like, well, I'm done.
Yep. Yep. I've had
Ugh.
a few hands like that where it's like plays Blade or something like that, and then it's just like he just kills the wrong card,
Yeah.
and then he'll like kill Ghost Rider or Helena, and I can't bring anybody back, so I discarded all my tough characters.
Yeah.
So I'm just sitting there with like all these weak stuff. I'm like, let's just play the handout.
There's been a couple times where I'm like, let's see what I can do. But most of the time, I'm just like, forget this. If I accidentally played the wrong card because I wasn't paying attention or something like that,
Yeah,
yeah, I'm like, nope. Like this is already. If I played my blade
yeah,
instead of something else, and like the card I don't want destroyed is on the end, I'm done. I'm retreating. Not even gonna try.
yeah. Well, that's part of for me is the interesting aspect too. Is when I run into someone else's deck, it's just something I haven't seen before, like these summoning decks that I'm seeing a ton of now. It's just ridiculous, and it's like, oh, that's kind of neat. Maybe I'll like imitate that deck a little bit and see if I can make something similar.
a few things where I think with the Venom deck that I made was like
Yeah.
I was getting a lot of people like when I thought I had them the whole game, I'm like, I got them. And
Hmm.
then they pull that Venom trick to where it's already like their Venom's like 33, and then they send it to the other two locations with they've got all these cards waiting to get destroyed, and it
Uh
just doubles itself. And I'm like, wait a minute.
huh.
I'm like, I see how they did that.
Yeah.
I can grab those cards and maybe throw a couple other things in there and see how I can work it out. And that's kind of how I started getting my Venom deck together, was people
Right.
stomping me with Venom.
But that's the thing, right? Is seeing that like new style of gameplay with a new theme deck. It's like, that's pretty good. I like that change up when they introduce a new card.
Yeah, some of them are annoying though. There's
Oh,
that
for sure.
what Boy Wonder or something. What is that thing? Like it's a new
Yeah.
one I've just recently seen, and it just gives like random points to all their cards.
Yeah.
I'm just like what is this guy doing? Like I'm trying to look at it. I can't even remember what it was. I can't stand that card. I wish I could remember what it was.
Yeah. It gave bonuses to like ones or something. I can't remember either.
Like Robin Hood Men in Tights or some crap. I don't know.
So that would be your worst when
Definitely.
thinking of a deck is Wonder. Mine would be Cyclops. I think that character should have something that is very powerful that he can trigger. It needs to be like an on reveal trigger of a blast. Instead, you give Cyclops a 3/4 and no ability, which is ugh,
See now,
beyond ridiculous.
I think see because I'm pretty sure I have a Cyclops that does nothing,
They
but
all do nothing.
I've had people use something that like shot me with like a red laser, and I swear it was a Cyclops.
They don't have anything. Cyclops has no ability. You have to use those add abilities or add points to no abilities to be able to make Cyclops viable or useful. But then you're already having to double him up to make him useful. It's so aggravating. I have a bunch of variants of Cyclops. I like the character a lot, but I don't use him at all.
See, I've never really like used a specific card or anything. I'll just like throw something together and just whatever works.
Yeah.
Or like I'll just try it out, and if it's just not working, but I'm like, hey, it could. I'm just doing something wrong. I'll just try to work it out. But I rarely have cards that I consistently use because I notice there will be a little bit for like probably each season. I have like a deck that I really, really like, but once that
Hmm.
season's over, it's like that deck is useless. And I randomly come back to it just to kind of try it out and then go, oh yeah, that's what this does.
Okay. Yeah. Well, talking about the game in general, we're going to give it kind of a ranking, and we're going to use our 1 to 5 scale. And number 5 would be play it every day. Number 4 would be play it every other day. Number 3 would be play when I remember. Number 2, 1 or 2 times a month. Or number 1, I played it once, it was not good enough. So what's your ranking of Marvel Snap?
To be honest, I don't think most people would play it every day,
Uh
but
huh.
that is one thing I really do like about it is it can easily be played every day. Like it's not I can't just jump into a game of Call of Duty whenever I want to all the time. But
Hmm.
this Marvel Snap is definitely a game that you have the ability to literally go in and play a game, and sometimes it's less than 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So, like, you can just go in and randomly play just whenever you want to. If you have a little bit of extra time, you can do some other things to where it's like, 15, 20 minutes you'll be playing. But it's easily a game that if you don't have a lot of time, you could play every day. And it's easy, 5 minutes every day, definitely. Like, I said earlier, I played on break,
Hmm.
at least a half hour of that. I played a few rounds here and there, just kind of hanging out. And it's definitely one of those games I could sit here on a Saturday night and play it for 2 hours right here on the computer. It's both, but I'd say easily every other day. So I'll go with 4.
Okay.
It's great, but I just don't think most people would play it daily. But I could see in every other day just kind of dabbling here and there. Yeah, I think I'd go with 4.
Okay. So I am mostly a play when I remember. So I give it a 3. There are times when it's fun and the season has something I'm interested in trying to unlock. So I want to play it more. So it'd be like a 4 around those times, but that's not consistent. So it's definitely around a 3 for the most part. But occasionally when they do something fun, like the Deadpool thing was pretty fun. I played that one a bunch.
The league that they've been doing's been really cool.
Yeah, so then it bumps up into the 4 range. I want to play it a little bit more.
So it's definitely those like daily missions and stuff. It kind of once you get to a point where it's like, oh, these will refresh in so many hours, you're kind of like, well, I guess I'll wait to play again. So then you do kind of forget about it. But you
Right.
add those other layers with the alliances and all the other leagues and stuff, definitely more initiative to play.
Yeah. So with that, now we have the Alliance. We came out with our guild, which is called Red, which is, I think the name of it is Red Claw. I was kind of thinking of Null and him being kind of like a
It's
Carnage type of character.
Yeah, it is. It is Red Claw. Red
Oh,
Claw.
okay, so the
I'll have to take some
acronym
screenshots and
is
throw it in
Red.
there.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So the guild is open to everyone, so anyone could join, and we
I
do play
wonder
it quite a bit.
if 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 people. Yeah, I definitely probably play it more than I should.
um, but it's available to everybody. And
Speaking of, I wonder how many people we could get to. Was it point contributors? How high we can get
oh,
those numbers? You get all kinds of
rewards.
rewards.
Yeah, we could definitely
Everybody
try
play the
to
game. Play the game. Join it.
try to achieve a higher ranking.
We'll get free stuff.
Um,
Come on. We'll get free stuff.
yeah, but it's not like it's super good stuff.
Nah, I mean,
It's a
uh,
couple. Was it a card and like a background or a
I don't,
frame?
maybe if we get some ridiculously high scores, it might be worth it.
No, that's true.
We get a good team going on here. Get a bunch of people. Let's get going. We'll get
Yeah.
thousands and thousands and thousands. They'll be throwing money at us.
We'll have to
Here's
have
free
more
stuff. Here's free
challengers.
stuff.
We'll have more challengers to fight against.
Oh yeah, and we can see how we keep up in the rankings.
Yeah.
So I've been
uh,
stomping you.
we can always dream.
Yeah,
But
look at those bounties, man. That's a big number.
yeah, don't put that on the screen. I
Screenshot,
was
screenshot.
busy. I was busy, all right. I was winning the league tournament, trying to get number one.
I mean, and it's not the lowest score you've had.
Yeah, that's true. Um, so final words overall. Would you recommend this to someone else to play?
I would definitely recommend it to somebody that that was kind of like me, that never really played any of like the
Hmm.
battling card games. If you want if you want something that'll kind of give you the idea of what they're all about, this is a good one because you kind of learn the objective of, you play these cards, you have so many points, this is the points that they are, but it's also simplistic enough that anybody can kind of catch on to it and have a little bit of fun with it, and it's one of those you could just pop in and out. So if you end up like really liking that, you can move on and have an easier time learning some of these other ones that are kind of difficult. I think quite a few of them are very difficult, but I've been able to figure them out a little bit. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
if you've never played them and you want to start with something, start with this one. Marvel Snap is a great stepping stone, and then I would say Hearthstone. A couple other ones I played haven't really stuck out in my mind, but those two are good kind of beginner games. But if you play any kind of those card battling games, it could get really intricate. So I would suggest also those people should play this game as well, just to see. Like I told you that one day there was a guy, he dominated both locations with over 1,000 points. I wish I would have got a
Yeah.
screenshot. It was insane.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think everybody should play it. Everybody should try it. It's a free game. So why not?
Okay.
You don't have to spend any money.
Yeah, that's a good recommendation. I agree. It would be right up there for anybody that likes comic books, that likes Marvel. They want to see those characters come to life. They created a great, fun game. I wish DC would have created one that was similar, but DC
Tried a
seems to
couple
be
DC things that, yeah, it's
always
just not
behind the
not there.
curve.
Yeah. Even some mobile games I've even tried, and it's just the Marvel ones ain't great, but the DC ones are just not good.
Yeah.
You need
Well,
a
that's
good
definitely
Batman mobile game.
well, they have that Arkham game, which is amazing, but
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
no, those are amazing.
I've
You're not going to
played
downplay those.
I've played bits and pieces of them, and they're a lot of fun, but for some odd reason, it's just not the kind of gameplay I'm looking for. I don't know.
Played on PC.
Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe I'll have to do that. I'm sure I can get it super cheap.
Yeah.
Bundle.
That's true. Wait for like a Steam summer sale or something.
Oh, I'm sure I can find it bundled somewhere for like $5.
Probably by now.
Yeah. When you started playing this game, did you start playing it when it first came out? Because I know it's still a fairly new game.
I did play it a long time ago. My brother recommended it, and I tried it then, and it didn't. I didn't really get snagged onto it because I really wasn't playing too often against him or against anybody. And the cards I didn't have like ones that I liked.
Yeah,
But now
yeah.
that I've
When you first
played,
start out, yeah, you don't get nothing.
yeah, now that I've been playing a while and played through a few seasons and collected a couple cards up, I kind of can make some good decks. It's a lot more fun. It definitely opens up. So being more involved in it helps.
remember I was telling Daniel from work he needed to play it, and
Uh-huh.
he went ahead and played it and was like, "Hey, let's play around." And it was literally his first round, his
Yeah.
first match ever, and I just completely destroyed him. And I'm like, "Dude, this is really unfair.
Did
Like, this is
he
really
ever play
unfair."
again?
I think he played a little bit here and there. I don't think it
Yeah.
was something he played a lot, but I think he gave it a shot. I just don't think it was for him. He plays a lot of those like turn-based games and just a lot of games that he talks about wanting to play. I'm just like, oh, I would never play that game. It's just not my style. But
Yeah.
I've tried some. Sometimes they stick, but mm, not all of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, it
Okay.
was pretty unfair when you first start.
Yeah. So give it a few moments and a bit of time and collect up some cards for your a better deck, and I think you have a better experience.
Yeah, definitely got to put a little bit of time of kind of not having the greatest time. Like you're going to get beat more than you want at first, but it's
Yeah.
worth kind of getting into and getting some of these cards opened up. It turns into a lot of fun.
Okay. Great. Well, it's been always good to see you, and it's about time we go.
Yeah, I got some stomping to do. Let's see what we can make happen here.
All right. Uh, we'll see you next time, and then if you hear any tears, that's just Fry.
Wish me luck. I'm going to win.
All right. Bye.
Bye.